This is our trip down to Mulberry Mountain, Arkansas, March 3rd and 4th. We had a chance to take our wives down this time, and we were going to take them to some of the waterfalls we'd found. Some of them they'd been to, a couple of them they hadn't, so we're on our way here to one that we found the last time we were down there, and our wives hadn't seen it yet.
How bad do you think this is?
We're coming to this waterfalls from the Mulberry side, which is on the east side of the waterfalls. And
that looks like that
there is a couple of spots when you're going down the side of a hill that are a little rough. Some people might not like it. But you can also come to this falls from the west side, where you wouldn't have to go over this stuff. We like to try to do a loop where we go out right and come around this way. Fairly deep.
That gets a little deep.
Now right up ahead here's the spot I was talking about. You can't really tell in the video, but there's a couple of pretty good drop-offs with some rock boulders there that you could bottom out pretty hard on. My wife got a little nervous when she saw it. We came up it in the dark before, but it seems like every time we go down there, the trails get a little more washed out. We let it out.
Yeah. It's me. Yeah.
Janice says yeah, but she wasn't here last time.
Yeah, my wife was a little nervous about it.
Get out and check it out.
Mike got out, and he threw a couple of rocks in a couple of spots that helped take the jar out so you wouldn't bottom out as bad.
More?
I still did hit, but I was hitting more on this trip than I have been in the past. I put a spare tire on the back, and people know that the tender springs on these RZRs are not very good, and they're collapsed with all the weight I've added, so I'm going to have to do an upgrade on them, either the tender springs or the whole springs. I haven't decided yet. I've lost some of my ground clearance. Now here's Mike, and he got his tire right on those rocks that he threw in there, and worked out good for him. But still, when you're in there and this thing starts tipping around, it's a bad feeling in there. But you see his right front goes right on these couple of rocks. He threw it right after this rock right.
You're good.
There.
Perfect.
Which really made it work out good for him.
Yeah. Tracy's missing out on a good ride.
Yeah, his wife, she said she ain't riding in there. She stood up on the hill. He went down it with no problem, though. There's a couple spots on past here that are a little rough, but they're stepped pretty good, so. Like I said, if you want to come to this falls, you don't have to go. You can come in from the other way, which you loop around on some gravel roads and then come onto the trails, but.
This is the top, and then down there is a big drop off.
Yeah, the fall's just right up ahead here, and it's kind of a little falls up above a big falls. And as far as I know, I haven't been able to find a name of the falls, so I can't tell you that. But I have put coordinates of all the falls on the video here. It'll be coming on here in a second. But I'm driving down to the big falls. That's the small falls up above. There's the coordinates. Which is a pretty falls, and then on downstream here is it's a big drop off here. I've never been out here in the summer, but I imagine these would be a good place to cool off if they're flowing. And it got dark while we were there.
I know I went through
and
this.
this is going on out from the west side. And when we came before, we drove right through this, going the other way, no problem, didn't sink at all. And now it
Don't go this way.
it sunk. I was really thinking I was going to have to really hammer it bad, but it backed up, and I went over to the other side, and it still was wanting to sink in. It got a splash pretty good. Mike went around the edge. Now here's the next day. This is on the Blue Loop, and I have no name for this falls either. It's kind of a two falls. So you got that one there, and then on the other beside it, it kind of splits and then splits into two. That's going downstream, and that's the coordinates for it. But I think it may be called Twin Falls or something, because you got the falls there, then you got the splits in here, and then over here on this side, it has another little falls. It wasn't flowing as much as the other, but I'm sure at times it does. And this is on the Blue Loop. And now this is another falls. We've been by this falls several times. It's on the Blue Loop, right on it. But the Blue Loop comes up here and turns to the right. It comes to the top of it and turns to the right. Well, there is a little bit of a trail that goes straight. Well, from the top, this falls don't look like that much. You can't really see it that good. But this time we went on straight, and a little ways down, there's a trail to the left that goes down and circles back and comes to the bottom of the falls, which is, that's the way to see the falls if you really want to see it.
We'll try this one.
This is where you turn to go down, and then it goes down and it goes back to the left. It comes back right to the bottom of the falls, which is, it's a dead end there. But if you want to see the falls good, that's where you got to go.
How far do you think that is, Mike? That's at least 30 or 40 foot, isn't it? 50 foot, right, Tracy?
But at least when we were there, it was flowing good. I'm sure there's times all these falls are hardly any water. Well, when we left there, we went back and hit West Fly Gap Road, took it back to 23, took 23 up a little bit farther north to hit the East Fly Gap Road.
Go ahead, I can stay back.
And this is the way you go to the 60-foot waterfalls and then the Mountain Creek Falls. right here is at the bottom of the 60-foot falls. Pull over here to the left to park. They said you can't drive up there and park up off the trail, so you have to park down here. And for whatever reason, there's the coordinates to this spot. But for whatever reason, I didn't grab my GoPro, so I just took a picture up this time with my phone. But it was flowing good. It's a nice falls. But that's it there. But anyways, from here you go on down the trail farther to get to the Mountain Creek Trail. Now this is a dead end trail for the side by side, so once you get down there, you have to come back.
The dragonfly's about to bite.
Well, anyways, this trail ain't too bad. There's two spots on it that are a little, one's a little, I don't know, some people probably would not like to go over.
Pretty good. The drop-off's right on the
Is it drops off pretty good on the right side, and it's a little rocky and rough there. Right there's where Mike's at right now. But you don't want to go off to the right there, because if you fall off that trail there, that's going to be a problem. It's a lot rougher than it in real life looking at it than on camera here. And then on down there's another one, but it ain't as bad. It's more stepped up. When you get down to this falls, it's like a series of two falls also. A small one like right here at the top, and then on down there where Mike is where the big drop-off falls is, the big falls. This is the Mountain Creek Falls, and there's the coordinates for it. And for some reason I didn't grab the GoPro, I just used my phone. But they give you an idea of what it is. So we went back the other way, which takes you to the road. Takes you down by 23. You go a little bit farther south on 23 and jump back on some trails, gravel roads, and we went up to this trail, or falls is named. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Phipps or Phipps Falls. Phipps. So however you pronounce it, I'm not good at that stuff. But it's an easy falls to get to. It's right on a gravel road. So if you want to go to one that is not rough to get to, this is a good one here. But you need to, and it's a series of twos. It's got two falls. It's got a smaller one up above and then a bigger drop off. There's the coordinates for it, and it's right next to the road. But to really see it, you need to go down below the big falls. And it's kind of a mountain goat trail. My wife wouldn't even go, and it was kind of sketchy to get down there. But to really see it, you need to go down there to really get how big this falls is. And there it is from down below. But, it's right next to the gravel road. So there was one more spot we wanted to go to that we hadn't been at all, was a place called Camp Carp. And we knew what the general area was at. We went up here on the Blue Loop. The Blue Loop goes to the left, which we've rode that before, but we never went to the right.
You know, we rode all this Blue Loop when we was out here the first time. You think that this trail to the right is the one? Because it's got to be close to the stream, right? We're almost to where.
But this is on the farthest northern end of the Blue Loop, and then you peel off to the right, and it does take you right down to this place called Camp Carp. There's a couple of houses or camping house homes or something. I don't know. And there's a little shed there
My
that
waypoint wasn't even close.
has a book in it for you, or a notebook in there. You can sign your name and the date and where you're from.
Semi-trailer.
And apparently this belonged to some guy that passed away, and they got a little memorial for him carved into a rock. This here, people's put all kinds of stickers and doodads, and there's Christmas ornaments hanging up in here. There's all kinds of weird stuff hanging up there. But yeah, there's the book there for you to sign. And then they got a little monument to this guy named Glenn. I guess this was his go-to area. Here it is. Somebody went to a lot of work to carve him in that rock. There's a little rickety bridge here that goes across the stream. But it was a fun trip, and hope you enjoyed the video.